Why is it important to develop a whole array of ideational technologies? A single idea, a thought form, bloop. Now we construct a whole array of ideas, multi-threading. Now we aspect each idea by another. The idea of sobriety, sternness, intention, inclination, a code executed in Egyptian hieroglyphs. What does it mean? It means blessings conveyed to the gods. Furthermore, we rearrange that. We have a very simple map. We can construct large maps, greater maps. We can use magical computers to create even greater maps contained in our mind. I once made a lecture on stealthing, cloaking, and enciphering magical messages. Gods do not speak human languages. They may understand it, but other than that, they talk highly advanced structural ideas that verify themselves in the subject of their idea. In other words, for example, a simple prayer, like there in the church. Somebody says, I want someone to be healthy. The intention of someone, the intention to be healthy, a specific person, a simple code, dispatched. What does it mean? To low order beings, they understand this person wants someone to be healthy. To high order beings, it means nothing. To higher order beings, it means what? So, to talk with the gods, you don't use human languages. You don't say, hey, hail Odin, or hail Vodin, or hail Hecate. You may think it, or to reaffirm your own human ideas about gods, and to confirm certain convictions of yours. But if I say, hail Odin, it means nothing. If I construct a whole symbolical theological framework, for example, that Odin is a Saturnine god, which is fierce and all that, I combine the natures, and I know what I want, a vision. For example, I want Vodin to take me in dreams to the stars after questioning me if that will be possible. That is a request. Now I construct it in a sophisticated manner, knowing the frameworks, the theological superstructure, the mathematical symbolical languages. And then we dispatch it, we broadcast. Why do we cipher? Why do we make it stealth? Why do we cloak it? Because there are plenty of things in the aether that want to overtake our communications or talk us to death, with their bullshit, inclinations, ideas, emotions, cognitions. It's a mess. It's a noise. So we establish a tunneling precisely for the purpose of being understood. It's like modern physicists and mathematicians and computer engineers work on quantum encryption. We have a quantum encryption already inbuilt in our minds if we know how to use it. We have a key, we cipher, we stealth. We glitch, we mask, we encapsulate, we glitch again, and what do we have? We have a highly encoded cipher that we intend for the particular entity to recover. Then we dispatch it, we break the key so nobody else can know what is going on, because we do it in silence, painting with silence. We can paint whole world with silence, ideas, great mathematical structures, great philosophical essences and ideas, and arts, performances. You don't need a wand or a crystal to do it, or a candle. You need your mind. Your mind and aptness in magic and certain potence in broadcasting and receiving, calling and receiving, calling and receiving. It's like cloud networking with the gods, right? So that is why most people in the prayer business, magical business, fail. Why? Because they cannot build highly sophisticated, intellectual, emotive, functional ideas within their minds. This is that you pray and okay, some low range entity will overtake it and say, okay, well, maybe good. You'll be a nice boy, you'll be a good boy, blah, blah, blah. So, same thing with other beings. You need to talk their language. You cannot talk with the chthonic, fiery, fierce, demonic quality with saying, hello, do you want a flower? Perhaps you may, but it maybe won't work. If you're in the position of this perspective of this fierce demon, maybe you will communicate, or maybe you'll be mocked. There is always language breeds similarity. Similarity breeds communication. So you need to take on masks sometimes in order to communicate properly. And if the languages of humans in general are understood, just imagine the noise of blah, 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 everywhere, blah, 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 and the quality of this gabbing and thinking, the quality of thoughts, the quality of ideas, the quality of talking. And that's not much of interest. Now, what you can contribute to these thousand high in the gods is your genius, if you develop it yourself. Because you contribute ideas that are beautiful, splendid, heretical. What can you offer if your mind, your emotions, your intellect are not developed? Encephalization in monkeys is much valued. So you may say, but it can't be that difficult. Well, if you want to order, high echelon beings, entities, gods and goddesses, you need to speak the language. If you want to talk with a Sylvan girl, Sylvan flying darling, that are very airy, swift and changing, you need to talk their language. They kind of like me because I'm changeable, I'm malleable, I'm swiftly changing. Like the ether. Does it mean I talk their language? No, they understand that I'm a bit similar to them. They're attracted. Some beings are attracted if you are same like, some are antagonistic if you are not same like, but they're attracted to you anyway. Some. So I digressed right now. But the greater your intellectual development, the greater your language of silence, of philosophy, of ideas, the higher you reach. The greater geometrical, philosophical, mathematical, essential intellections. That's how it works. Simple. And not really. So, how to paint with silence? You do it with ideas, with art, with science. That is non-linguistic. You may perform certain grammatical structures and operands on any language. But what is more important is the silent semantics, semiotics of all of it. Silent. Imagine a symbol stripped of a symbol. Imagine a meaning stripped of a meaning. Imagine a word stripped of a word. Imagine a movement, a gesture stripped of a gesture, a movement. And that's this point when it is not zeroified or nullified, but it has great content. It is charged with content. But it is inexplicable, unexplainable, because this silent contains a lot. And you cannot teach it to anyone else. I can only convey in the Socratic irony the idea of it in human terms. But other than that, you need to learn it yourself. And that's why many things in the magic and in the occult at a certain level are non-teachable, non-instructable. You may receive impressions of higher order beings and be taught of things that no grimoires, no magical books, no maestras and masters can convey to you. They can give you a foundation, yes. You can progress in foundations, yes. But beyond that, you're on your own. You either learn or you don't. Thank you.